Hey guys, it's me Zoe from the Zoe Life, and today we are doing a Jurassic Park quest drive-through, guys. You are gonna love it. It's going to be so cool, guys. Peace. See you after the vid. Yeah, guys. So this is, I guess, a lady holding a baby dinosaur. And yeah, I thought it was really cool that she made it look really realistic and stuff.
Inside.
And this next
Those
one
are actually called
also looks like super cool. I don't know what it's called. It looks like a Stegosaurus, guys. I don't know dinosaurs that much. I think they're pretty cool, and I thought this was pretty cool, so I thought maybe you guys wanted to see it. And this thing, I thought it was really realistic, and how you see all the things moving. It's really cool, guys, so I hope you enjoy it. I just wanted to let you guys know what we were doing, and I wanted to let you guys know how this was gonna play out. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you after the
The very
video.
first drawings of the depicted it as a giant iguana-like creature. The animal it's next to is Baryonyx. Baryonyx was a carnivore, and specifically, it ate fish. We know that it ate fish because when the first Baryonyx skeleton was found in England in the 1980s, it had fossilized fish bones and fish scales inside of its belly, along with a few bones from a young iguanodon. Since it lived in what is now England, as one of its last meals was fish, this could be the earliest evidence of anyone in the UK ordering fish and chips.
Our quest has now taken us from Europe to the continent of Asia, still in the early Cretaceous. The big dino you see here is Eutyrannus, the feathered tyrant. Eutyrannus is part of the Tyrannosauridae family. That means it's a relative of the T-Rex. Eutyrannus lived in the Liaoning province of China. What makes Eutyrannus special is that it is the largest dinosaur that we know of with feathers. We know that Eutyrannus had feathers because of where and when it lived.
Our journey now takes us to the continent of Africa in the early Cretaceous period. The dinosaur standing here is one that I bet a lot of you know. Can you guess what it is? Did you say Spinosaurus? You got it! Spinosaurus is one of the largest carnivores to ever walk the earth. But it mostly ate fish. We know that because Spinosaurus' teeth have been found embedded in fossilized bones of a large fish. Although they have also been found in the bones of other dinosaurs. Spinosaurus is a creature that was a mystery for a long time. Its fossils were discovered in 1912, but they were destroyed during World War II, when the museum they were in was hit during a bombing raid. It wasn't until the 1990s when Spinosaurus' fossils were rediscovered. In fact, we've learned more about the Spinosaurus in the last 20 years than we have in the last century. We now know that Spinosaurus was a massive predator that lived in and out of the water in marshy waterways of what we now know to be northern Africa, preying on fish the size of cars.
Hey, Dustin, is this a secure line?
Sure, I think. I just turned off the mic. Yeah, they definitely can't hear us now. What's up?
I just noticed that the T-Rexes aren't in their areas. Do you know if they've been moved to another location?
I haven't heard anything about moving them anywhere. They should both be there. I can check in with Nick and Marty to see if they know anything about this.
That would be great. I'll organize a search. We need to find them soon, but we cannot get our guests worried. Let's keep this on the down low.
Roger that. We're moving through time again, folks. Welcome to the late Cretaceous. The Spinosaurus we just saw spent a lot of time in and around water, and that's where we're going. Welcome to the Western Interior Seaway. That's a shallow sea that stretched from the Gulf of Mexico to the Arctic Ocean during the Cretaceous.
We're good there.
Cretaceous period. The Great Plains of what is now the United States and Canada used to be underwater. Lots of marine fossils are found in places like Kansas.
Look at this teeth.
First creature here is the long-necked Elasmosaurus. It's a relative of the Plesiosaurus, but much bigger. Second is Archelon, the biggest sea turtle known to exist. It had a leathery shell called a carapace, and just like sea turtles today, it probably laid eggs on land. The huge, fearsome creature is Tyler.
Yeah, I know, but they already talked about the turtle. You weren't listening? Archelon.
Mosasaurus. A relative of Mosasaurus, its name means the knob lizard.
Talking about the brown thing down there.
On the end of its snout that might have been used to manage its prey. Tylosaurus is a member of the Squamata family. That's the group of reptiles that includes,
In some cases, including feathers.
Hi, it's Park Ranger Marty again, and welcome to the early Cretaceous, North America. The furry guy is Utah Raptor. Now let's see, can anyone guess where Utah Raptor was discovered? That's right, Cincinnati. Just kidding, folks. Utah Raptor was found in Utah. Utah Raptor is the largest known member of the raptor family. Now behind him is a predator named Seats. Seats was a massive predator that lived at the end of the early Cretaceous. Very little is known about Seats due to how recent of a discovery it is, but it is thought to be a member of the Allosauridae group that lived into the early Cretaceous. Seats lived in North America at about the same time.
The claws on its hands could grow up to 3 feet long, making them the longest claws in the animal kingdom. Most of what we know about Therizinosaurus comes from animals closely related to it. The only fossils we have of this animal are its shoulders, arms, and hands. It is believed to be an herbivore, but we are still looking for more fossils to know.
It has 3 claws on each hand, a lighter bone structure, and teeth that were designed for slicing, unlike the T-Rex's, which were meant for crushing through bones and ripping car tops open. Speaking of which, if you see one of our missing T-Rexes, please let one of our 3 security guards know where. And second largest in this scene is Carnotaurus, which means meat-eating bull, because of peculiar horns on its head.
The crest on the back of its head is called Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus is a hadrosaur, a family of dinosaurs sometimes called duck-billed dinosaurs
There's no
because of the
crest
shape
on his
of their
head.
snouts. Other hadrosaurs include Iguanodon, Ouranosaurus, Aloratitan, and Edmontosaurus, among many others. Parasaurolophus is a cool dinosaur because it's one of the few dinosaurs where we know what they might have sounded like. Paleontologists discovered that by looking at the crest on its head. What they found were tubes inside going back and forth between the nasal passage and the throat. When they recreated blowing air through their tubes, they discovered that the crest would have made a
Golia. Both have awfully long, narrow noses for members of the Tyrannosaur family. We're not sure what those noses may have been used for. Maybe to cut through water, making them faster, more accurate fishermen, or maybe they were specializing in smaller, faster prey, not needing the powerful bite of a T-Rex. Speaking of which, if you see one of them, please let one of our 4 security officers know. Now, scientists only described this dinosaur in 2014, so there are still a lot of unanswered questions about it. But I can tell you this much. In the United States, we do not typically refer to this dinosaur as Shianchusaurus. We typically just call it Pinocchio Rex.
Now we travel to Argentina. The big animal you see in this scene is Giganotosaurus.
Giganotosaurus.
Sarah.
By the way, hadrosaurs are prey animals. Their sound might have attracted large predators. If our missing T-Rexes hear that sound coming from one of your cars, they might be following the tour back in the direction of their cage. So perhaps we should move on to the next stop. Yeah.
Quetzalcoatlus is the largest flying animal to ever take to the sky. It lived in what's now Texas because
that's
everything
big.
is big in Texas. It's named after the Quetzalcoatl, the Aztec feather serpent.
They couldn't even get the whole thing
It had
like
a wingspan of 36 feet. That's the same as a small plane. Standing like it is here, it was the height of a giraffe, but would weigh less than 600 pounds. That's a lot, but it's incredibly light for an animal this size because it was doing everything possible to be as light as possible, including having very hollow bones. This is necessary for it to achieve flight. Quetzalcoatlus was actually not a dinosaur, but a pterosaur. Pterosaurs are a family of flying reptiles that lived at the same time as dinosaurs. Like many, but not all pterosaurs, Quetzalcoatlus had no teeth, unlike our missing T-Rexes who have very large teeth. Now, if you have any other questions about the creatures you see, go ahead and text that question to 844-DINO-411 or 844-346-6411.
The big carnivore in here is Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus is a close relative of T-Rex, roughly half the size of a fully grown T-Rex. Albertosaurus is named after the Canadian province of Alberta. Zoo is relatively a new discovery, and scientists are still trying to learn more about this
The
creature.
little one.
Make sure to pause your audio tour until you reach our next dinosaur scene.
In this scene, we have a group of dinosaurs called ceratopsians. or
His eyes, they
horned-faced
open.
dinosaurs.
They all
The ones in
open,
this
Mom.
scene include Titanoceratops,
They all
Cosmoceratops,
open.
Styracosaurus, and Brachioceratops. Now, there are two families of ceratopsians, Chasmosaurians and Centrosaurians. Now, Chasmosaurians have two prominent eye horns above their eyes and a very large frill. Centrosaurians do not typically have prominent eye horns and tend to have smaller frills, but sometimes they have some rather ornate horns coming out of them. Text your questions to me at Hey.
Look at this guy.
And now for something scarier with an even bigger bite. Megalodon.
Yes.
Megalodon is the largest shark to ever swim the seas. It is believed to reach up to 60 feet in length and had rows of hundreds of teeth. These teeth would sometimes fall out and be replaced with new teeth, similar to sharks today. Megalodon teeth have been found on every continent, including Antarctica. For centuries, these teeth were thought to be the petrified tongues of dragons and sea serpents. What they actually were was no less scary. The good news is that Megalodon is definitely extinct, despite what some TV shows